There is a plant sitting in garden centers across this country right now that can stop a human heart with a single leaf. Another one on this list will shut down your dog's liver within 24 hours of one bite. The nursery selling both of them will not put a single warning on either pot. 7 plants, all sold openly every single season, all without adequate warnings. All moving off nursery shelves right now into American yards, patios, and living rooms with zero information attached beyond basic watering instructions. And number 3 is probably sitting in your living room right now. I am not giving you vague cautions today. I am giving you exactly what is happening inside each plant chemically, what it does to a human body or an animal when something goes wrong, and precisely what you should be growing instead. Stay with me through number 3. That one will genuinely stop you cold. Before plant number 1, if you are not subscribed, do it right now. Every week I put out content like this. Honest, specific, research-backed gardening information that protects your family and your animals. Hit that button. Now, let's go. Plant number 1. Oleander. The first plant lines highways across California, medians across Texas, and subdivision entries across Florida by the millions. Municipalities plant it cheaply and forget about it. Nurseries stack it near the entrance every spring because it sells itself. Drought-tolerant, fast-growing, covered in clusters of deep pink, white, or rich red flowers that look like something from a Mediterranean courtyard. For a homeowner wanting a bold, colorful hedge without weekend maintenance, it genuinely feels like the perfect choice. That is exactly why it keeps moving off shelves season after season without a single warning on the pot. That plant is oleander, Nerium oleander. What the tag never tells you, every single part of oleander is toxic. Leaves, flowers, stems, roots, and even the smoke when you burn the clippings. Oleander contains cardiac glycosides, the same family of chemicals found in digoxin, the prescription heart medication millions of Americans take daily. In a controlled medical dose, life-saving. In oleander, completely uncontrolled, and a single leaf carries enough to cause serious cardiac disruption in a child. There is no safe part. There is no safe level of exposure. Every summer, veterinary clinics across Southern California and the Gulf Coast report dogs and horses that ate oleander clippings left near yards after routine trimming. The ASPCA, Animal Poison Control Center, lists oleander as one of the most consistently reported toxic plant emergencies in the country. By the time most owners recognize something is wrong, the treatment window has already narrowed. Risk level, extreme. Every part toxic at all times. Humans, dogs, cats, horses, livestock. Smoke from burning clippings also toxic. Same dramatic hedge. Thrives zones 4 through 9. Non-toxic to children, dogs, and cats. Same visual impact. None of the risk. Plant number 2, Foxglove. The second plant looks like something straight out of a storybook garden. Tall, dramatic spires covered in tubular flowers in deep purple, soft lavender, creamy pink, and white with hand-painted spotted throats. Bees love it. Hummingbirds chase across the yard for it. Nurseries stock it heavily every spring because it performs reliably, self-seeds freely, and sells purely on how it looks. But inside those beautiful blooms is a chemical compound so powerful that doctors have used a refined version of it to treat heart failure for over 2 centuries. Except in your garden, there is no safe dose. That plant is foxglove, Digitalis purpurea. Foxglove contains digitalis glycosides, the direct chemical source of digoxin, the cardiac medication prescribed to heart patients for generations. William Withering documented foxglove's medicinal properties in the 18th century and recorded clearly that the line between a therapeutic dose and a fatal one was razor thin. In your garden, that line does not exist at all. Any part, leaf, flower, stem, seed, causes nausea, severe vomiting, dangerous heart rhythm irregularities, and in serious cases, cardiac arrest. Children are at specific risk because the tubular flowers invite curious handling. Gardeners who touch foxglove without gloves, then touch their mouth, have experienced toxic reactions from nothing more than that brief contact. U.S. Poison Control receives foxglove ingestion calls every year across multiple states, and cases involving children are consistently among the most serious. Risk level: high. All parts toxic to humans, dogs, and cats. Self-seeds for years after removal. Children at specific risk. Nearly identical tall tubular flower spikes in white, pink, and lavender. Native to North America. Completely non-toxic. Attracts hummingbirds and native bees just as effectively. Hardy in zones 3 through 8. Husker red cultivar adds deep burgundy foliage for 4-season interest. Plant number 3, dumb cane. The third plant is not a garden plant at all. It is one of the 10 best-selling houseplants in the United States. It sits on living room shelves, in office corners, on kitchen windowsills, and in children's bedrooms across every single state right now. Large glossy leaves splashed with cream and pale yellow. Tolerates low light. Requires minimal watering. Interior designers recommend it. New homeowners buy it because it signals a beautifully decorated home. Almost nobody who owns one knows what is hiding inside every single leaf. That plant is Dieffenbachia. Common name, dumb cane. Inside every leaf and stem are microscopic needle-shaped crystals called calcium oxalate raphides. When the plant tissue is chewed or broken, these crystals are forcibly ejected into the soft lining of the mouth, tongue, and throat, like thousands of tiny glass shards firing simultaneously into tissue. The immediate result is intense burning pain and rapid swelling. In severe cases, the throat swells enough to make breathing labored. That is the origin of the name, dumb cane. Victims are temporarily unable to speak. U.S. Poison Control receives thousands of calls involving Dieffenbachia every year. Toddlers and household cats are the most frequently affected victims. The ASPCA lists it among the top indoor plants responsible for veterinary emergency calls nationwide. In the overwhelming majority of cases, the plant was simply sitting in the main living space, exactly where the nursery intended it to be placed. It does not look threatening. It looks beautiful. That is precisely what makes it dangerous. Risk level: high. Thousands of poison control calls annually. Toddlers and cats most frequently affected. Sap contact with eyes requires immediate medical attention. Same lush tropical indoor character. Low light tolerant. Completely non-toxic to children, cats, and dogs. Same price points at any garden center. Before plant 4, subscribe right now and turn on that notification bell. This channel exists to give you honest, specific information that protects your family and your animals before something goes wrong rather than after. Subscribe now. Plant 4 is the most urgent one for dog owners anywhere in this country. Plant number 4, Sago Palm. The fourth plant looks like a small, elegant palm tree. Landscape companies across the American South and Southwest install it by the hundreds every season. Nurseries stock it prominently across zones 8 through 10 because it tolerates heat, tolerates drought, holds its architectural form year-round, and sells at a premium price point. For a homeowner wanting a low-upkeep, high-impact focal plant, it is genuinely excellent from a horticultural standpoint. For any dog owner in this country, it is the most urgent plant on this entire list. That plant is the Sago Palm, Cycas revoluta. Every part is toxic to dogs and cats, but the seeds carry the highest concentration of a compound called cycacin, a direct hepatotoxin that targets and destroys liver cells with a specificity that veterinary toxicologists describe as among the most aggressive of any plant compound in American landscapes. In dogs, even a single seed, chewed and swallowed, can trigger liver failure that progresses faster than most owners expect. Vomiting begins within 2 to 3 hours. As liver function deteriorates, neurological symptoms follow: staggering, tremors, seizures. Once those signs appear, survival rates drop below 50%, even with aggressive around-the-clock veterinary treatment. The seeds fall to the ground unnoticed, particularly in fall when production peaks. No smell, no color warning, nothing that signals danger to an animal. The ASPCA Animal Poison Control Center identifies the Sago Palm as one of the leading causes of fatal plant poisoning in dogs across the entire United States. Cases spike every fall as seeds drop through the season. Risk level: extreme. Single seed, potentially fatal to dogs. Survival rate drops sharply without immediate treatment. Leading cause of fatal plant poisoning in U.S. dogs. Same graceful tropical frond display. Same growing zones. Non-toxic to dogs, cats, and children. Plant number 5, Angel's Trumpet. The 5th plant grows 8 to 10 feet in a single season, produces enormous pendulous trumpet-shaped flowers, and fills the evening air with powerful fragrance. It looks exotic, architectural, and expensive. It is sold openly in American nurseries as a dramatic tropical accent. What is inside every part of that plant is not a footnote in a gardening book. That plant is Angel's Trumpet, Brugmansia. Every part contains tropane alkaloids, scopolamine, atropine, and hyoscyamine, at concentrations that cause severe neurological effects from small exposures. In children, ingestion causes hallucinations, rapid heart rate, seizures, and in serious cases, coma. These are not rare outcomes. They are the documented typical presentation of Brugmansia poisoning in pediatric emergency medicine. The large pendulous flowers fall naturally to the ground where pets encounter them directly. In dogs and cats, the neurological effects are equally severe. Several American states actively restrict cultivation of Brugmansia, specifically because of these verified risks. Risk level: extreme. All parts severely toxic to humans and all pets. Neurological effects documented even from a sap contact. Should not be grown where children or animals have access. Large tropical flowers in pink, red, and white. Same dramatic scale. Non-toxic to humans and dogs. All the tropical drama. None of the neurological risk. Plant number 6, Yew. The 6th plant is one of the most common foundation shrubs in American residential landscaping. Dark, dense architectural. Tolerates shade and heavy pruning better than almost any other evergreen. Landscapers specify it constantly. HOAs love it. It has been planted next to American front doors for generations. Right now, there is a very good chance it is within arm's reach of your front entrance. That plant is yew. Taxus species. Every part of you, except the red flesh of the berry, is lethally toxic. The seeds inside those berries, the leaves, the bark, the stems, all contain taxine alkaloids that cause rapid cardiac arrest. There is no antidote. The progression from ingestion to fatal cardiac event can be measured in minutes. The red berries are bright, small, visually appealing, and positioned at child height in foundation plantings right next to front doors. The red flesh is sweet and non-toxic, meaning a child can taste the berry without immediate reaction. But if the seed is bitten or swallowed, taxine absorption begins immediately, and the intervention window is extremely short. For dogs and cats, a small amount of leaf material is fatal. For horses and livestock, yew clippings near pastures have caused multiple documented mass fatalities. Even dried clippings retain full toxicity indefinitely. Risk level: extreme. No antidote. Cardiac arrest can follow within minutes. Toxic to humans, dogs, cats, horses, and livestock. Dried clippings retain full toxicity. Identical visual profile: dark evergreen foliage, dense habit, tolerates shade and heavy pruning. Native, non-toxic, hardy in zones 4 through 9. Same function. Zero risk. Plant number 7, Autumn Crocus. The 7th plant breaks the pattern of everything covered so far. It looks nearly identical to wild garlic and to ramps. Wild leeks that foragers across the eastern United States deliberately seek out and eat in spring. Adults, not just children, have been poisoned through simple misidentification in their own gardens. It contains an alkaloid with no antidote that causes progressive multi-organ failure. Symptoms can be delayed 4 to 6 hours after exposure, meaning serious poisoning is often not recognized until it has already become severe. That plant is Autumn Crocus, Colchicum autumnale. Every part contains colchicine, an alkaloid with no antidote that blocks cell division and progressively shuts down organ systems. The delayed symptom onset means that by the time serious symptoms appear, significant time has already been lost. For cats, the lethal threshold is extremely low. For dogs, the bulbs carry the highest concentration and present a specific ground-level digging risk. The flowers appear in fall without any foliage. Beautiful lavender-pink blooms emerging directly from bare ground. That unusual quality makes it appealing as a garden novelty. Many gardeners plant it specifically for that reason, with no awareness of what it contains. Risk level: extreme. No antidote for colchicine. Resembles edible foraged plants. Dangerous for adults as well as children. Delayed symptoms reduce treatment window. Severely toxic to cats. Similar fall flowering growth pattern. Beautiful pink, white, or magenta flowers at ground level, with attractive marbled winter foliage. Non-toxic to humans. Hardy in zones 5 through 9. Same striking seasonal quality, without the colchicine risk. 3 more that did not make the main list, but every serious gardener should recognize. Hydrangea, flower buds and leaves contain cyanogenic glycosides. Dogs and young children face real risk from chewing the large, accessible flower clusters. Plant where pets cannot reach the base foliage. Monkshood, aconitum, contains aconitine, one of the most potent plant alkaloids known. Absorbs directly through intact skin. Handling without gloves causes tingling and numbness within minutes. Gloves every single time. No exceptions. Philodendron, top 10 best-selling houseplant in the U.S., contains the same calcium oxalate crystals as Dieffenbachia, same burning and swelling on contact. Requires veterinary attention in cats, dogs, and small children who chew stems or leaves. Every plant on this list is sold openly right now, without adequate warnings, without legal requirements for disclosure. The nursery is not going to warn you. That has been true for decades. You now know what the tag does not say. That knowledge costs nothing. The emergency room visit does not. One question: which plant concerns you most for your specific situation? And what are you doing about it this week? Drop it in the comments. Everyone gets read. If this video gave you information you did not have when you pressed play, share it with one gardening friend today. One share, 10 seconds. It costs nothing and may prevent something serious for someone who had no idea this information existed.